We live in a world where we are constantly pulled out of ourselves and responding to everything from traffic to people to noise to the radio to television to whatever. And part of being here is to teach oneself to go inside always before one responds. So. Welcome to Oak Haven. I guess you noticed, of course, when you came down the driveway, the landscaping and the way that the fences bring you into this place. Everything was done with great intention so that when the people enter this place, they get the highest experience of their life in the shortest time. While you're here, the three things I can promise you. We will love you. We have radical acceptance here. And we teach ultimate compassion. And I wish if we could take anything out into the world when you leave here, it would be love, radical acceptance of yourself and all others, and great compassion for yourself and for all other living sentient beings. Thanks for being here, and we're going to start a great time together. Margaret is going to show you to your room.
Thank you very much.
Come on this way.
Welcome, and we'll see you in a little bit.
And if you would take your shoes off here.
Okay.
We all do.
Wow, this is beautiful.
It is nice and tranquil.
That's nice.
Everybody arrived and we've settled in. And now it's time for us to get to know each other a little better. Could you pull out your journal a minute? And I want you, please, to write down 3 questions, because as we go around the group, these are the 3 questions I hope that you will reflect on. The first question is, who am I? And the next question is, why am I here? And the third question, what do I need? So Ronnie, we're going to start with you.
Who am I? I'm Ronnie, and when I think about who I am, I always think of it in reference of my 2 children. That's where my identity comes from, is my motherhood. I'm also a graduate student. I'm also going to be a single woman soon, so that's a huge part of my identity. My marriage started when I was 21, so that's who I was as a woman for 17 years.
Kevin.
I don't know, I used to think that I was what I did. I've lived in different cities and had a lot of different kinds of jobs, corporate positions and running other people's companies, or I'm never really quite sure where I am in all of that. It's like I keep traveling all the time. I keep moving, and I try to go with my intuition and let go, and I think that the more I grab hold of things and want to be stable, the more I end up having to let go. A friend of mine referred to me as a human doing, not a human being.
What'd you think of that comment?
Well, actually, I agreed with it, because that's how I for a long time, I guess I've thought of myself as whatever I'm doing, or I've got to be doing something.
Keisha.
My name is Keisha, and I can't tell you who I am. I can't find anything that is enjoyable. There's no place I could go, and there's no one who understands. It's just me. I know that I'm depressed.
Some people genetically are predisposed to depression. It's as genetic as diabetes, or as genetic as having black hair or blonde hair, and it's something that's very, very treatable. Maybe your biggest gift is for the next couple days to surrender into the love and support of these amazing human beings and the amazing beauty of this place, because there's something here for you or you wouldn't be here. I think you believe that. Bruce.
Whoa, okay.
Who are you?
I think I'm a mixed bag of nuts. I think from the outside looking in, people think I had it all. But I guess in the last 11 years, I've kind of been on the sidelines, kind of watching and seeing and having fun. Probably too much fun.
What does fun mean?
I've got 1,000 memories with 1,000 people, but not 1,000 memories with one person.
When I came up here, I don't even think I knew why I was coming. Something told me to come. And I thought about it back and forth for a while, and I said, no, maybe I'm just over-exaggerating. Because when I tell people that I'm stressed, they look at me and laugh. And when I told my parents, they laughed in my face. They were like, oh God, Renee, here you go. You're so over-exaggerated. Oh, you're so dramatic. Oh, stress. I'll tell you about stress. You should see my mortgage payment. You know, I'm just like, man. But I've been saying this to them for years. And the whole time they just brush me off like whatever. I feel like I'm a bundle of scattered energy, just going in all different directions and getting absolutely nowhere. I have all this potential, all these dreams, all these aspirations, and I'm stuck in neutral. I'm trying to do so much at once that I'm getting nothing accomplished, and it's getting really, really frustrating.
Well, my name is Julie, but I'm Randy's girlfriend, and Kelsey's mom, and Benjamin's mom, and Hannah's mom, Natalie's nanny, and Addison's nanny, and a VP of operations. Although I'm not their mother, I also have 3 stepkids. But who am I really? I lost track of that. I'm so tired. It seems to be a recurring theme here in the room.
You're all so distinct, yet there's some common things that we all share here. We all have life issues, you know, the depression, the anxiety. They hit us in different ways at different times. So I hope that self-compassion is something we can find the seed. It's there. I mean, we don't have to find it for you. You know it's there, is what I've heard. And yet we want to nurture it here.
Sometimes I wonder if, God's testing me or if the devil doesn't want to lose me.
Because I'm just so stressed out trying to figure out what's my next move, how can I improve this situation?
There's just mutiny of thought.
I'm facing a slew of medical bills.
I have these kids that are growing up before my eyes, and I want to be here to see all 6 of them have grandkids.
That's hard.
Like I said, I'm trying to save everyone. I gotta save myself. I'm about to lose my mind.
And the next question is, why am I here at Oak Haven?
Why am I here? I really wanted to learn how to manage this mutiny of thought when I start thinking about the future and I start having all this anxiety of what is my life going to look like? Where am I going to get a job? I don't even know where I'm going to live. So all these things are going on, and I still have tasks to achieve. Sometimes during the day when I'm busy, I can get this done. I'm the queen of get it done. I get them all done. And then, crash into bed and then wake up at 3 a.m. and not only thinking about the future, but reliving past events of things that are done. But I think about it, and I'm just as mad as I was the day that it happened. So.
The second question is, why are you here? Is it more about the sleep or more about the loss?
I guess grounding. I don't. That's probably why I keep buying houses and furniture that won't move. But I don't feel like really grounded with things, or with, and never really felt grounded with an individual relationship. I'm great at making friends and contacts, but I've never had a real committed
Sustainable, committed relationship.
Right.
I've had a great life. If you want to know what a great life is. Does it look happy? Yeah, it looks happy, but I don't know if it was. There's a lot of pleasures, but I don't know if I was ever content and full in here. I'm becoming more aware, and so this is my second half of my life, and I don't want to be so self-absorbed as I was the first half of my life. And I think that's one of the reasons I was here.
I spent a lot of my time waiting for something to happen, or just saying I'll put it off till tomorrow. And last year, I got in a really bad car wreck. And amazingly, I walked out with like a scratch on my hand, but my car was total. I mean, I came from off one interstate, down a hill, and almost came into oncoming traffic on another interstate. Went straight through the median. And what was I doing? Trying to rush to a job that probably doesn't give a flop about me anyway. And I feel like God kept me for a reason. And I know I have a greater purpose now.
Why am I here? I'm no good to anybody right now. I'm not good to myself. There's nothing left.
It's like everybody else is finding out what their purpose is, why they're here, or have a reason or a plan, or to have someone else to live for. I don't feel that. I feel like it's just me, and me, for some reason, is not enough.
Stress and depression are sisters, twin sisters. And you're exhausted. You're exhausted with this life. And you know what? This place, Oak Haven, is the greatest place I've ever known in my life to totally surrender. In this last question, what do you need?
Teach me how to be peaceful. These first. Sign, and then put those in there. Just put how to slow down and manage the thoughts when they come, so they don't manage me.
I need to know what the rest of my life's gonna be like. I can't do the partying thing. I can't meet people that way anymore. I don't want to be the guy at the bar at 50 and just keep going and partying. I want a different kind of life, but I'm not sure, because another part of me is afraid that it'll be boring.
Serenity and peace and being not the party person. One thing I can promise you is it's anything but boring.
I need to find inner peace. I need to learn how to focus. I have no focus. I need to learn how to not feel inadequate when I can't save the world. It makes me feel like I'm not doing something right.
So I need some tools. And it's crazy because I lost my mom 7 years ago to cancer. Quickly, 6 months from start to finish. And I spent every minute I could with her. But she told me, she said, I died because of how I lived my life emotionally. She never smoked, she never drank. She was into healthy eating before anybody even knew what organic was. But she died of cancer. And she was convinced that it was because of the dark things that she carried inside and didn't know how to deal with, and the stress it created for her. And I know that, and I remember that, and I was so pissed at her for leaving us and my kids not knowing her and my grandkids not knowing her. but I don't know how to choose different. I'm doing the same thing she did. And that scares the hell out of me. Scares me. So I need some tools.
Not only are you courageous, I'm touched by your awareness.
I just met the man of my dreams. My kids are incredible people. I don't want to miss that. But now I'm watching Kelsey, my daughter.
Yes.
It's a cycle, you know?
And it's a cycle you want to break, isn't it?
So I think I want to learn how to love myself and forgive myself, and I think it'll all kind of fall in place and get rid of some of the anger.
If I could have a hope and courage. Hope gives us strength.
Say it again.
Hope gives us strength.
Now change the us to me.
Hope gives me strength.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Courage propels us to action.
Okay, now change it to me.
Courage propels me to action.
It's a benediction right there, and a blessing. Now we're going to do a thing called Sculpey. It comes in different colors. You choose a color. I like to do this at the beginning, which is where you are now. We are dust, literally, and to dust we're going to return, and we're also clay. So as you feel it and move this clay, trust what comes out.
I believe mine is a circle, and I don't know if it's because I've been running around in circles a lot lately, or I'm like in a hamster in a cage that's going nowhere fast, or hopefully it's, and I think it's with my intent that it's my life's coming full circle.
Well, this bowl is completely empty, and I'm hoping that I can find something to fill this bowl with, and hopefully it'll overflow.
So you have a heart, big heart. Because it's what keeps us going and sustains us, and it loves and it gives back and it breaks and it heals over and over and over again. There have been some very, very cool relationships established here today, for me anyway.
It's a flower, a dying flower, as well as a, metaphorically speaking, a star that's being held down to the ground when it should be shooting across the sky. And I say it's a flower because I feel like I'm competing for sunlight, and I'm not getting enough of it. And the sunlight would be acceptance from everyone else when I need to look inward and accept myself.
Well, mine kept changing. It started out as a worm, I think. Then it was a caterpillar, and then it became a circle, and then somehow it hit me that I did the infinity symbol, but like in 3 dimensions, because pretty much everything I keep hearing and keep in my head, it keeps echoing. It's like letting go, and letting go allows you to go to the next thing, and then the next thing creates something else, and it just keeps going, and it doesn't end, even when I let go of things.
These are wings that are just supposed to represent a positive journey in the future, not a scary journey. These aren't scary wings, these are happy wings.
Or either a big mustache.
I am going to end this session with a bell, as usual, how we begin and end in silence. Each one of these came out of our souls as a part of each one of us. And each of these are collective. So as we go into this silence, let's respect. It's always the simple, the mundane, and the ordinary that we find true meaning. We can all do anything. I've heard that from every one of you. Every one of us can take economics and make a straight A. We can take care of people and love people and be a great mom and look beautiful and run, and we can do all of this stuff. But is it sustainable? Because something happens to us. We get broken or fractured when we keep trying to be what we're not, and it keeps unraveling or tearing apart. It kind of erodes us. So Alter Your Life actually has developed products to help you. We talk about stress, we talk about anxiety, we talk about worry and guilt and all these things. Beads are important because what we know is there are special senses in the bottoms of the fingers, and there's something calming and peaceful about rolling beads through the fingers. And so whatever ritual works for you, it's really important to find things, tactile, physical things that have color, feel, taste, whatever. We are humans. We are physical. We negotiate our five senses. Our five senses inform the brain of everything. Another thing that you're going to have in your bags, this is a compass. And the reason that we created these compass beads is because it's symbolic of the direction of your life. With every tiny movement of my body, this compass changes. So what it reminds us of is that with every drink of tea, with every bit of sleep you do or don't take, that if you change just one tiny baby step of your life, what you know is this direction of this compass of your life will change dramatically. This is called a serenity blanket. This is in a public place in your home, over a couch, over a chair, and the person who puts this on in the family, no one's allowed to talk to. This is their own little prayer shawl. So it's like a timeout, a self-imposed timeout. The ancients call it practices, spiritual practices. It's called practices because what you're doing, you're practicing every day, every day. Please realize that practices are the opposite of a habit. A spiritual practice, or any practice, is very mindful, very intentional, and very deliberate. And you do have to do it every day. You accept your own practice for your own cultivation, for own love of self and growth and purpose in your life, and you change. And as you become more light, more grounded, more focused, more purposeful, more intentional, everything around you changes. So, on that note, we're going to close this session. Thank you very much. Thank you. Namaste.